So the other day I was talking to one of my friends who I haven't spoken to in like 2 or 3 months. You know, sometimes you have those friends who you don't really talk to a lot. You have other friends who you speak to on a daily basis, sometimes on a weekly basis, and then you have those other friends who you talk to maybe once a month, maybe twice a month. So we were just catching up, seeing what's up. One of the things that were brought up was relationships. I don't know how we got on that, but somehow relationships were brought up. Because I asked him, you know, how his relationship was with his girl that he was dating. And he's like, oh, we're not together anymore. I was like, oh, okay, well, maybe I can hook you up with one of my friends. You know, I was just playing with him. And he's like, oh, okay, sure, whatever. And I was like, okay, so what type of girl are you interested in, you know? And he's like, oh, I like all types of girls except black girls. I was like, whoa, wait a minute. You don't like black girls? What's wrong with black girls? And he's like, you know, I don't have a problem with them, but I just don't date them. I was like, okay, why? What's wrong with them? He's like, there's nothing wrong with them, I just don't date them. Okay. I was like, why is that? Because they smell. I was like, what type of black girls are you around? You know, not all of them smell, alright? Because I don't know, because as most of you know, I support AMBW. I've been in AMBW relationships before. Alright, I've dated black girls, black females before. So he's generalizing a whole group of people, which is not right, because not all of them smell. That's sort of like stereotypes. And I was like, aren't you black? And he's like, well, I'm 3/4 Indian. I'm wondering, maybe is this some type of self-hate going on? Most people don't say stuff like that. They don't say, oh, I only date these type of people, or this race, or this whatever, you know. Most of my friends are really open-minded to dating people outside their race, ethnic background, whatever. So they don't really, and they don't say like ignorant things, you know, like that. Maybe that's his preference, alright? Maybe he just doesn't like black girls, which is fine, because, you know, we all have our preferences in dating, you know. But to say you don't use to, you know, to single out one race, to say that you would not date them because they smell bad, you know, that's kind of, you know, I think that's kind of bad to say, especially if it's of your own race. Sort of like if I would have said, you know, I don't date Asians because, you know, they're ugly, or because, you know, whatever the reason is, you know. Could that be taken as self-hate? Maybe. Could it be bad experience? That could play a part. And for him to say that, you know, he don't date black females because they all smell, that's sort of an invalid point, you know, invalid, because because I've dated black females before and they don't smell. The ones I've dated don't smell. Yes, there are some that do smell, but I can say the same thing for people of other races, you know. I know white people who smell, I know Latino people that smell too, so you know, that's not really a good reason to write a whole race off because you think you've had a few bad experiences, and you know, so I don't think that's right, especially when it's your own race that you're talking about. You know, if it's someone else's, I mean, that's bad, but you know, when it's your own race and you're talking really bad about your own race of people, then that's a problem. Have any of you been in situations like this? What do you guys think? You know, I'd love to hear what you got to say. Alright, like,